Who came on board as a guest and would stay for 48 episodes? Who was just bored? Which departure was inevitable but still heartbreaking to this day? It's time to take a look at NCIS cast that left and ruined the show for fans. Ready? Let's go. First up, Jennifer Esposito. Jennifer Esposito was only part of the team for one season, but she made an unforgettable impression on fans with her character Special Agent Alexandra Quinn. Quinn worked at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center before joining NCIS. For 15 years, she trained agents including Bishop, Torres, and McGee, so it was a bit of a surprise when it became known that Esposito wasn't returning to the show the following season. There were some rumors that Esposito might have been ill, which the actress herself addressed on her Twitter. Apparently, Special Agent Quinn was never meant to be a long-term character, but she was glad she got to have the experience regardless of how much time she spent on the show. There is a chance that she'll return though, as her character left to take care of her mother, who had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. It would have been different if she'd been killed off, but she wasn't. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll get to welcome Special Agent Quinn back. Would you like to see her return? Next, Lauren Holly. When Lauren Holly was offered a role in NCIS, she understood it to be a guest starring arc that would be about 6 episodes, give or take. That's how Holly stepped into the role of Jenny Shepard, the director in charge of the NCIS team, for seasons 3 to 5, because somehow those 6 episodes for a guest role turned into 48 episodes. After 3 whole seasons, Holly was a bit fed up with the role of the director. Before taking on the role in NCIS, Holly had been on a break from acting, but had found an appetite for it again as time went on, and more episodes of NCIS were tagged onto her list of credits. So Jenny Shepard was murdered by the fiancé of a Russian crime lord that she'd been sent to kill years earlier, and Lauren Holly went on to star in movies like Crank: High Voltage and The Black Coat's Daughter, and TV series like Motive, Designated Survivor, and Flashpoint. And now, Miguel Ferrer. The departure of Miguel Ferrer from the NCIS universe was arguably the most painful one. Ferrer portrayed NCIS Assistant Director Owen Granger on NCIS Los Angeles from its conception in 2009 until his death in 2017. Ferrer had been diagnosed with cancer, and the writers decided to write his illness into the show to a certain degree, giving Granger an unnamed disease that was caused by his bad habits. Ferrer became visibly more frail, making his presence in the show very heavy to witness. But it was also very clear that Ferrer wanted to be on set. He wanted to work. Ferrer's longtime co-star Chris O'Donnell has expressed how he thinks that Ferrer was able to hold on to life as long as he did because he really looked forward to coming to work. After Ferrer passed away, the series paid tribute to him in the closing credits, as well as playing a version of Knocking on Heaven's Door recorded by the Generators, Ferrer's band. Following, Michael Weatherly. As exciting as it was to work on such an iconic show as NCIS, eventually things just got boring, was the explanation of Michael Weatherly when questioned about why he left NCIS. Weatherly is one of the original cast members, and he had been around for 13 whole series by the time that he started to feel burned out by his character, Tony DiNozzo. And who can blame him? 13 years can wear anyone down, even if the job is as exciting as working on an immensely popular TV show. And it was simply time to move on for Weatherly shortly after he left the NCIS set. Weatherly would end up signing his own television series for CBS called Bull. The show was inspired by the early career of Dr. Phil McGraw, with Weatherly in the role of Dr. Jason Bull. Unfortunately for Weatherly, that show has been met with some controversy, leading to a settlement of $9.5 million. After Eliza Dushku's claims of being sexually harassed by Weatherly. Make sure to stick around until the end of this video, because we're about to get into all the drama that led to some of the most beloved cast members of NCIS to leave. Some of them forever. What was wrong with Zoe McClellan? Why did Mark Harmon leave? Let's get going, because we got many more to go through. First up, Polly Perrette. When Polly Perrette left NCIS, the shockwaves echoed through the fanbase for months after. Perrette had portrayed Abby Shudo, one of the most loved characters in the whole NCIS universe. For 16 years, she was one of the faces we had all come to trust and rely upon, and all the mystery surrounding the departure of Perrette was frustrating for everyone. Since then, it's come out that there was an incident on set involving the rescue dog of Mark Harmon. The dog had attacked a crew member who needed stitches, and everything Perrette says, she was the only one who dared to stand up against the producer, who ended up having to keep his dog in his trailer or on a leash at all times. But things only spiraled after that, and Perrette would leave the show being terrified of her co-star, Mark Harmon, after he supposedly body-checked Perrette. Abby's presence from the show is still missed to this day, and fans sincerely hope Perrette is doing well, whatever she's up to these days. Next, Zoe McClellan. McClellan's character left fans confused. They had just built rapport with her, and then she just vanished without a good reason. At the time it happened, producers of NCIS New Orleans had called it a creative decision, writing Zoe McClellan's Special Agent Meredith Brody out of the show. But an interview with the original showrunner, Jeffrey Lieber, has revealed something much more disturbing. He was not given an explanation at the time, and Lieber had been under a lot of pressure from above to fire McClellan, even though he thought her acting was good, and testing had revealed Agent Brody was a well-loved character. Lieber made changes to the character in hopes of changing their minds, but in vain. Finally, one powerful man putting pressure on me just admitted to me that the problem was that Les didn't find her effable enough. Lieber told Vulture in a 2019 interview. Les Mooms is the former chairman of CBS, who resigned in 2018 after several allegations of abuse and sexual sexual harassment had come to light. Brad Kern took over as showrunner and proceeded to talk poorly about McClellan, telling his staff he didn't find her sexually attractive. He was fired after several charges for sexual harassment as well. Next, Cote de Pablo. Ziva David is one of those characters that was so well written. She fit into NCIS seamlessly, and Cote de Pablo was the perfect actress to give Ziva a face, and more importantly, a voice. She joined the show in 2005, season 3, and was instantly a fan favorite. But in 2013, she left without warning, right at the beginning of season 11. De Pablo was one of the first major characters to leave NCIS, and her absence was felt for a long time after. She would go on to tell TV Guide that it had been an overwhelmingly hard thing to do to leave NCIS. Not to mention terrifying, but she wasn't ready to open up about her reasoning yet. When De Pablo finally dared to open up about why she left, it would be 3 years later. As it turns out, De Pablo felt like Ziva wasn't treated right. Ziva has always been a beautifully complicated character with lots of intricate layers, and De Pablo started to feel like the writers weren't giving her the respect that she deserved. Luckily, the writing apparently got a little better later on, because De Pablo returned for season 16 and 17. And now, Mark Harmon. When you think NCIS, you think Leroy Jethro Gibbs. Mark Harmon's Gibbs has been the face of NCIS from the very beginning. So much so that some people couldn't even imagine the show even going on if Harmon ever decided to step away from in front of the cameras, even if he would remain behind them. But season 19 saw the unimaginable, and with a heavy heart, we had to say goodbye to our Gibbs. He meant to quit in season 18, but stayed around with a special agreement for a few more moments at the top of season 19 to ensure that it would be renewed. And since then, we've been reassured that there is always a chance that Gibbs will make an appearance or two here or there, but he is no longer a part of the main cast of NCIS. Instead, he'll continue to work as an executive producer and enjoy some free time, we can imagine. Harmon will be turning 71 this September. He probably deserves some leisure time as well. And that's all we have for now. Which character's departure was the biggest shock to you and why? Let us know in the comments what you think, and thanks for watching.